Good morning and thank you for joining us on this edition of Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. As always, we're coming to you live from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. This morning too, the details on all the top stories from here at home and around the world are all set to be brought to you. Stay tuned with us for the news in detail. Let's dive right in, starting off with news here at home. 26 high-end luxury vehicles belonging to the Presidential Secretariat are scheduled to be auctioned today as part of a broader government initiative aimed at reducing state expenditure and promoting financial accountability. This marks the second phase of the auction process, which includes luxury vehicles as well as others identified for removal from active use. All these vehicles included in the auction have been manufactured within the last 10 years. The decision to auction these vehicles was made with the goal of trimming government costs and promoting greater fiscal responsibility within public institutions. According to the President's Media Division, these vehicles were previously used by advisors and staff members appointed during the tenure of former presidents. This move is seen as part of a wider government effort to restructure public sector spending and improve transparency in the use of state resources. Now, Minister of Public Security Anand Vijaypala has announced stringent laws will be introduced to reduce the growing number of road accidents in the country. The minister emphasized that existing traffic laws must be effectively enforced by police officers. He also noted that steps are being taken to investigate instances where the police have failed to implement these regulations properly. Commenting on the recent developments, Minister Vijaypala stated that the report from the committee appointed to investigate the tragic Kothmale bus accident recently in Garandiala, to be specific, is expected to be submitted within 2 weeks. This committee is chaired by Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police, Attorney at Law Ajit Rohana. The Kothmale bus tragedy resulted in the loss of 23 lives, prompting urgent action and a renewed focus on road safety enforcement. Meanwhile, police media spokesperson, Senior Superintendent of Police Buddhika Manathunga has urged all drivers to exercise caution and drive responsibly. In a continued effort to ensure passenger safety, the police have confirmed that the inspection operation of long-distance passenger buses remains ongoing. Across Sri Lanka. Chairman of the centre, Sampath Ranasinghe, explained that Sri Lanka has been unable to import new buses for nearly 6 years as of now. He stated that the importation of buses came to a halt during the COVID-19 pandemic and the subsequent economic crisis. He noted that this disruption has had a direct impact on long-distance passenger services, forcing many operators to continue using older vehicles. Ranasinghe added that transport providers are eager to upgrade their fleets. However, import restrictions and excessive tax burdens make this nearly impossible. He pointed out that the cost of a new bus is approximately 16.3 million rupees, of which 4.5 million rupees is taxes alone. He further stated that such financial constraints leave many transport operators unable to afford replacements, which in turn compromises passenger safety. Ranasinghe emphasized that this is a key reason why outdated buses continue to operate on Sri Lankan roads. He noted that the union has continuously informed successive governments of the challenges faced by the industry. Ranasinghe stated that following the recent Garandiala bus tragedy, both public and government attention have once again turned towards public transport safety. He stressed that transport providers are equally committed to delivering a safe and reliable service. Therefore, he also urged the government to seriously consider the issues raised by the transport trade unions and introduce policies that enables fleet modernization, an essential step toward improving road safety as well as public transport standards. Let's move on to more local news for this morning now. In recognition of the World Hypertension Day, observed annually on the 17th of May, the Health Promotion Bureau held a media briefing yesterday to raise awareness about the growing impact of high blood pressure as well as the importance of early detection as well as management. Now, the theme for this year is measure your blood pressure accurately, control it and live longer. It emphasizes the need for regular and accurate monitoring of blood pressure as a key step in preventing serious health complications such as heart diseases as well as strokes. Now, at the media briefing that was held yesterday, health officials highlighted that 1 out of 3 people worldwide is affected by hypertension, making it one of the most common and dangerous non-communicable diseases globally. A total of 38 individuals have been arrested for engaging in illegal fishing activities during special operations conducted between the 21st of April and the 28th of April, according to the Sri Lanka Navy. The operations were carried out in coordination with fisheries inspectors in coastal and marine areas surrounding Kadekadu, Pudumatalan, Trincomalee, Kokilai, Chapel Island and Back Bay. The arrested suspects were reportedly involved in fishing using unauthorized methods, including illegal fishing nets and electric lighting equipment, which are prohibited under the current regulations existing in the country. The operations were supported by multiple naval establishments, including Bethalakeni Naval Deployment, SLNS Gotabe, SLNS Parakumba, SLNS Vijayaba and various naval bases in collaboration with local fisheries inspection officers. In addition to these arrests, the Navy's media unit reported the seizure of 8 illegal fishing nets, 12 dinghies and electrical lighting devices used to attract fish. The Navy emphasized its continued commitment to safeguarding marine resources by preventing unlawful fishing practices and ensuring compliance with national fisheries regulations. On that same note, the Ministry of Fisheries has announced that a pension scheme for fishermen will be implemented within this year, marking a significant step towards providing long-term social security for those engaging in the fisheries industry. Deputy Minister Ratna Gamage stated that steps have already been taken to amend the Fisheries Act in order to accommodate this new pension system. To support this legislative reform, a subcommittee has also been appointed recently to assist in drafting and reviewing the necessary legal amendments. The introduction of a pension scheme is expected to offer financial stability and retirement benefits to fishermen, many of whom work under risky as well as uncertain conditions. Finally, on to the weather forecast for today. The Met Department says that showers or thunder showers can be expected in the western and Sabaragamo provinces as well as in the Galle, Mathura and Puttlam districts. The department further stated that some areas may experience heavy rainfall with amounts reaching up to 75 millimeters in certain locations. And as always, the general public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. With that, let's move on to news overseas. US President Donald Trump has said his administration is now exploring the possibility of normalizing relations with Syria. His comments coming shortly after he met Syria's interim president Ahmad al-Shara, whose forces ended the decades-long dictatorship of the Assad family. The extraordinary encounter, unthinkable just months ago, was short but significant. Trump remarked, and I quote, "I think he has got potential," unquote, after his meeting in Riyadh, 37 minutes long, with a former Syrian fighter formerly linked to Al-Qaeda. The $10 million US bounty on his head was only lifted in December. Video footage of their conversation in a lavish Saudi royal palace showed some initial awkwardness as they spoke through a translator. A beaming Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman sat next to them. The Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan joined them by telephone. Trump acknowledged that it was these two leaders who had convinced him to also lift the United States punishing Syria sanctions. His sudden announcement on Tuesday night at a major US-Saudi investment forum in Riyadh won him a standing ovation. It was a volte-face after many of his previous posts on social media said that the US had no interest in Syria. Shifting attention to the conflict, the long-running conflict rather, between Russia and Ukraine. Now, Russian President Vladimir Putin is not among the names listed by the Kremlin as being due to attend peace talks on the war in Ukraine in Istanbul on Thursday, despite talks from Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky for him to attend. Russia's delegation will instead be headed by presidential aide Vladimir Medinsky, according to the Kremlin statement. Zelensky had previously said he would attend the talks and meet Putin in person if the Russian president agreed, and said he would do everything he could to ensure the face-to-face meeting took place. US President Donald Trump will not be attending, according to the media reports, despite previously hinting that he would if Putin was there. Zelensky will be in the Turkish capital Ankara on Thursday to meet President Recep Tayyip Erdogan for these peace talks. Finally, on to your sports news for this morning. In sports, it's cricket. The Indian Premier League will allow franchises to sign temporary replacement players for the final stages of the rearranged 2025 season. But those players will not be eligible for retention ahead of the next auction. The league will resume on Saturday after its suspension due to the cross-border India-Pakistan tensions, with the new dates prompting calendar clashes for a handful of players. The majority of overseas players will return to India for the rest of the season. However, some have withdrawn, including Jake Fraser-McGurk of Delhi Capitals and Jamie Overton of Chennai Super Kings. The IPL's regulations permit teams to sign replacements in the event of illness or injury, provided that it occurs during or before their 12th match of the season. But the league has taken the call to change those rules, enabling temporary replacements to be signed for the remainder of the rearranged season. However, any temporary replacements signed after the league's suspension will not be eligible for retention ahead of the next season. This move is seemingly designed to avoid any situation where franchises are effectively incentivized to sign replacements as a way of circumventing the auction process rather than for legitimate reasons. The IPL told franchises in a memo that it had reassessed the replacement rules. The league said that given the non-availability of certain foreign players due to national commitments or personal reasons or any other injury or illness, temporary replacement players will be allowed until the conclusion of the tournament. That's a wrap of this morning's edition of the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. All you've got to do is join us tomorrow morning as well. Same time, same place, right here on TV1 at 7 a.m. for more of the very latest from here at home and around the world. Take care. Have a wonderful day ahead.